and allegations of corruption in the Vatican Bank. It's been more than a year since elementary students were gunned down in a Connecticut school. Now, a small California college has become first in the country to try to use the money to put pressure on the gun industry. And Jennifer London has that story.
In the months following the mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, gun control advocates marched, rallied, and demanded stricter gun laws. That effort failed. Now, advocates of tougher gun laws are making their voices heard in a different way, through divestment campaigns.
It's like having a boycott of an irresponsible industry.
Peter Dreyer is an urban policy professor at Occidental College in Los Angeles. With Dreyer's leadership, Occidental has become the first college in the nation to order its endowment to pull money out of investments in companies that make assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
Having colleges divest their endowments from the weapons of mass destruction, the gun lobby, the merchants of death, as they have often been called, is one way of moving this agenda forward.
Occidental's divestment resolution doesn't include all firearms, like handguns and hunting rifles. Rather, it targets weapons like this, the Bushmaster semi-automatic rifle and other military-style weapons. The National Rifle Association declined our request for an interview. And while Occidental is the first college to take this action, last year, some large public pension funds in California and New York began divesting from firearm companies, a strategy that Jennifer Fiore with the Campaign to Unload says is working.
We're very happy to say that about $171 million in investments in the gun industry was divested over the course of 6 months of actions.
No business in South Africa.
Divestment supporters liken it to similar campaigns in the 1980s that took money out of South Africa as part of the anti-apartheid movement. But investment analyst Anthony Chikumba says linking the two is a stretch.
It just won't have the same level of impact as it did in South Africa. I mean, apartheid was a issue that very few Americans were in favor of. You have a large portion of the American population that either owns guns or just wants to have the ability to own guns. The financial impact on the gun industry is likely to be fairly limited, to be honest with you.
Back on campus, Peter Dreyer knows Occidental's resolution won't dismantle the gun industry, but he hopes his college sets an example for larger institutions to follow, rather than waiting for Washington to take the lead. For London, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
Tragedy at the South by Southwest